19 things Queen Elizabeth II left to the royal family. It's difficult to ascertain the royal family's pain at the end of their matriarch. She was an icon who upheld and encouraged the world with her strength, resilience, and beautiful smile. During her reign, she inherited, acquired, and received many properties. Which begs the question, what did she leave for the royal family? What possession will each of them obtain? These questions and more will be answered in this video. While the death of Queen Elizabeth II was not an unexpected event, subsequent events following her death made the world speculate about her family and wealth. Before her death, the world could not get her exact net worth. However, her fortunes include the Crown Estate, the Duchy of Lancaster, private residences, jewelry, artworks, and many others. Watch on and unravel 19 items Queen Elizabeth II left to the royal family. Number 1. Royal Residences. You could call the royal family many things, but we all can agree that they did not lack houses. With a large portfolio of 6 remarkable estates, the royal family will not have accommodation problems. Queen Elizabeth II left the impressive 775-roomed Buckingham Palace and the century-old Windsor Castle, the world's largest occupied castle. In addition to these 2 edifices are the Holyrood Palace in Scotland, Sandringham Estate in Norfolk, Northern Ireland's Hillsborough Castle, and Balmoral Castle. Buckingham Palace was the Queen's official residence, while Windsor Castle is as iconic as the jeweled crowns. It's been in possession of the British monarchy and accommodates several British royal families. Queen Elizabeth II spent most of her childhood in Balmoral Castle. She loved this castle and made it her favorite summer getaway home. The Balmoral Castle holds a lot of significance to Queen Elizabeth's life because her early and final moments were observed in this castle. Sandringham Estate was the Christmas home of the royal family and the 6th royal residence. Notably, 4 out of the 6 homes belonged to the Crown, so only Sandringham and Balmoral Estate were private properties of the Queen. Number 2. SWANS. This might be shocking to you since everyone knows the Queen's love for corgis. However, it seems she extended that love to other animals as well. The Queen co-owned the swans on open water in England and Wales with 2 other companies. Annually, a 5-day swan census is conducted called swan upping to know the Queen's swans. They're caught, marked, and released into the seas. Although the swans may not seem as worthwhile as a house, these graceful birds have been a royal inheritance since the 15th century. Number 3. 200-plus bags. Yeah, I know, this might seem like a bizarre item on the inheritance list. However, considering that these Lanner bags contribute a significant amount to Her Majesty's wealth, we'll let it slide. Each Lanner bag costs about £1,400. No one could accuse the late Queen of a shabby wardrobe or outdated bags. The Queen had a bag for every occasion, offering a good communication channel between her staff and herself. Talk about letting your money speak. Number 4. The Tower of London. The first palace built by the royal family is the Stone Tower of London. Although Buckingham Palace is the residence of our current monarch, preceding monarchs had opted for this stone tower. Since it was built to evoke fear and awe in the British populace, the edifice has stood and basked in the appreciation of everyone who sees it, which makes it a major British tourist location and has attracted various individuals. Previous monarchs threw their enemies into the dungeons of the castle and stored their prized possessions in the safety of its walls. Currently, the crown jewels and other accessories have made the tower their home. As a rule, the London Tower belongs to the crown, hence the ruling monarch inherits the palace from the former one. Number 5. Hyde Park. From royal and private residences with grounds to public parks, the Queen's properties under the Crown Estate are extensive. One of Britain's popular parks, Hyde Park, was under the custody of the Queen. So, by default, she passed it to the next generation on her death. Hyde Park and other open spaces like Kensington Gardens offer the royal family an opportunity to mingle with other members of society freely. Number 6. London's Regent Street. Regent Street is a famous shopping destination in England that spans across Piccadilly and Oxford Circus. With an estimation of 2 kilometers, this location is a must-see. It attracts 7.5 million plus visitors and even more revenue. Currently, London's Regent is one of the holdings under the Crown Estate. The Crown Estate and the holdings under it are transferred to the next ruling monarch. The management of the Crown Estate is handled by the royal family, and the ruling monarch is at the helm of this organization. Although the owner of this street is not entitled to all the royalties of the street, the royalties received from the Crown Estate holdings fund the royal family activities and are usually described as the family business. Number 7. Forest. As a part of the Crown's estate, there are 25,000 acres of landmass which the late Queen left for her successor. Although this parcel cannot be sold by the ruling monarch, it's still an admirable gift. While other items on this list may not benefit you, this particular one will. With the continuous transfer of this woodland, the Crown has immensely contributed to the preservation of the global climate. Notably, this land cut across all of Britain's recognized boundaries. So 8% of this land is inherently a forest, and other portions are leased for agricultural activities and mineral extraction. Number 8. Dolphins, sturgeons, and whales. Dolphins are recognized as the property of the United Kingdom's monarch. The 1324 statute stipulates that mammals belong to the Crown. Much like the swans, the Crown lays claim to these aquatic animals. So since the late Queen previously represented the Crown, all marine life on UK shores belonged to her. By extension, her successor will enjoy the privileges and duties that come with being their owner. Furthermore, the British seabed, subsoil, and all minerals derived from it belong to the Crown. The area of influence covers about 22 kilometers away from the surrounding shores. Number 9. Artwork. Very few individuals can boast an extensive art library like the British royal family. With over 100,000 pieces of artwork at varying price points, this is an admirable gift to any art curator. The Queen coordinated the royal collection, which she successfully handed over to the next in line. Although she can't sell any of the artifacts, she's allowed to contribute to them. In 2012, she added to the collection on her Diamond Jubilee. The art library boasts artworks of artists from diverse eras. Artists like Rembrandt, Rubens, Raphael, Claude, Van Dyck, and many other great minds are well represented. Paintings, drawings, prints, sculptures, tapestries, and many other artifacts are found in the royal collection. Royal artworks are not left out of this collection. Queen Victoria's sketchbook and other artworks from preceding royals also constitute the royal collection. Most of these pieces are placed in royal estates, and a few are displayed in museums and selected art locations. The Jewel House boasts an impressive arrangement of sacred and ceremonial regalia, consisting of no less than 142 items, studded with 23,578 polished gemstones, making up the globally renowned crown jewels. Number 10. Racehorses. The Queen's love for animals was unparalleled, and her keen eye for business made her the proud owner of over a dozen horses. The Queen left behind some of the finest winning racehorses. Since she had a long reign, her herd of horses earned her a little below £10 million. Her love for horse racing started at a young age. She won her first race in 1949 with a horse she shared with her mother. Her investor acumen and love for horses helped her bequeath her horses and some of the cash flow it brought to the next generation of royals. Number 11. Cars. The Queen's car collections become an icon in recent years. The Queen's interest in cars was likely developed during World War II, when she served as a truck driver and mechanic. She was the first royal female to serve in the military. However, the war ended in those years. She learned to drive, but didn't apply for a license because of her exalted status. Although we often see the Queen with her favorite vehicle, the Land Rover Defender, which she's acquired 30 of the Land Rover series, she has an extensive range of cars. The Queen's array of cars is impressive, from the Rolls-Royce, Jaguars to Bentleys, and finally to a custom-made Range Rover LWB Landaulet. Her Bentley cars were custom-made, allowing her to stand up and step out of the vehicle. It's interesting to note that her cars are estimated to be £10 million. With the Queen's interest in fast cars and horse racing, it's safe to say that our deceased monarch was a lover of speed and quality. Number 12. Diamond Diadem. Diamonds, sapphires, and other glittery stones are the perks of royalty. Since Queen Elizabeth II came from a lineage of monarchs and royalty, she's had her share of jeweled crowns, tiaras, and other headgear. The diamond diadem, as it's fondly called, is a tiara with a 4-carat yellow diamond at its center, and another 1,333 diamonds scattered around the tiara. It was initially designed for George IV because of his coronation in 1821. However, the Queen made it her own, which was likely the Queen's favorite tiara, as she wore it to every state parliament opening. The diamond diadem was designed by Rundell and Bridge, who were London jewelers. The tiara has 4 crosses to represent the diversity of the United Kingdom. The front cross has a pale yellow brilliant diamond and a brilliant band of diamonds bordered with pearls. The national symbols of roses, thistles, and shamrocks were also incorporated into the tiara. Number 13. Fabergé Collection. Fabergé was a marvelous artist who initiated many designs from hooks, regal Easter eggs, animal designs, and flowers. With the progression of time, the Royal Collection recorded 800 Fabergé creations. Since the Queen and the royal family contributed to the royal family in 2012, this number is subject to increase. The Fabergé collection is in the Queen's Gallery in Buckingham Palace. The active Fabergé collection started with Queen Alexandra and Edward VII. Many of these artifacts were on display for the general public. Number 14. Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey has been a major stakeholder in British royal history. It's been the venue for royal coronations since 1066 and has witnessed various royal weddings, funerals, and other ceremonies. It's best described as a royal peculiar because it directly belongs to the ruling monarch rather than a diocese. It was the location for the Queen's funeral service. Westminster Abbey directly belongs to the ruling monarch, so King Charles owns a certain cathedral because of his position and status. Number 15. Jewelry. No true queen forgets her jewels and baubles. It's believed that the Queen's stash of tiaras, brooches, earrings, and gems was very interesting. From royal jewelry that followed the lineage to her personal jewelry set that she received as gifts, the Queen's jewelry was very extensive with the best trinkets. A piece of very notable jewelry in the jewelry collection is the largest clear-cut diamond in the world, commonly termed the Great Star of Africa. This cut diamond is also called Cullinan 1. Its 530.2 carats and net worth of 51 million pounds places it on a high pedestal. This diamond and other trinkets were presented to Mary of Teck, George V's consort. Subsequently, the Cullinan 1 was incorporated into the crown jewels. It was placed into the sovereign's scepter with a cross. The sovereign's scepter is used during the royal coronation ceremony. Hence, the diamond belongs to the crown. Other popular royal jewelry include her coronation crown, St. Edward's crown, Queen Mary fringe tiara, Queen Mary's true lover's knot brooch, Queen Elizabeth II's diamond engagement ring, and the diamond diadem. The Queen's personal jewelry is estimated to be about 100 million pounds. Number 16. The Duchy of Lancaster. Another private estate of Queen Elizabeth II, which will likely be bequeathed to her successor, is the Duchy of Lancaster. The Duchy is an 433-hectare estate that comprises the Savoy Estate, some lands, and certain historical landmarks. The Savoy Estate is a significant holding of the Duchy of Lancaster. It spans a large area and shares borders with the Strand as its north. At its eastern border lies Somerset House. The embankment at its south and Savoy Hotel sits at its western border. In addition to the estate, the Duchy also has some acres in the country of England and Wales. Several portions of the land are in Cheshire, Lancaster, Yorkshire, Staffordshire, and Castleton Village. While some acres have been leased, others remain as vegetation. Furthermore, various historic landmarks belong to the Duchy of Lancaster. Some of these landmarks are well recognized and admired, such as the Savoy Chapel, Yorkshire Pickering Castle, and the renowned Lancashire Castle. Number 17. Crown Dependencies. Queen Elizabeth was a very illustrious figure who made a lot of achievements in her years of reign. Aside from her position as ruler of England and the Commonwealth countries, she also owned 3 British island territories, including the Isle of Man, Jersey, and Guernsey of the Channel Islands. These are her crown dependencies. The contract which gave the Queen ownership of the Channel Islands is quite ancient. As such, the title of Lady and Duchess is not used. Instead, she was referred to as Lord and Duke of the Isle of Man and Jersey and Guernsey, respectively. The Isle of Man is an old island dating back to over 7000 BC. Ownership of the island constantly switched between Norway and Scotland before landing in the hands of the British. Jersey is the largest of the Channel Islands and belongs to the Kings of England. Even after England lost to France, Jersey remained loyal to the British. Guernsey is the second largest Channel Islands island and mainly belongs to the British. Jersey and Guernsey are not under the UK, as they have their ruling system. However, some of their aspects are controlled by the UK, such as defense and a few aspects of international relations. Number 18. Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square is the home to the British National Gallery and the Column of Nelson. It was built on the site where the royal stables once stood. Trafalgar Square has been used for numerous purposes, including campaigns, public demonstrations, and gatherings. During the Christmas period, the square is very lively, and a Christmas tree donated by Norway can be found. After the battle in 1805, Trafalgar Square became one of the major areas of England. It was and still is a very important tourist center in England. Demonstrations were initially banned when it was built, until the labor movement started holding events, which eventually lifted the ban. Trafalgar Square currently divides the city's main shopping area and center from each other. Number 19. Scotland's gold mine. This is one of the most shocking things, which was owned by the former Queen of England. Every single gold mine in Scotland has been under the ownership of the British Crown since before 1600. The Queen could have decided to sell off the gold mines, which covered a very large area. The ownership of the gold and silver mines by the Crown was first announced by King James I. In Scotland, gold is located in many areas, including in rivers and mines. Although Scotland cannot be counted as one of the world's largest producers of gold, gold mining in Scotland has gone on for centuries since the Iron Age. Scottish mines for gold and silver were first established in the early 1500s by King James IV, who ruled Scotland at the time. Much later in the 1800s, gold mining yielded great results for a short period. Besides gold and silver, another element, a blue mineral identified as azure, was also discovered in the mines, although in smaller quantities. Do you know more things Queen Elizabeth II left for the royal family? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Until next time!